you're here, you cheater. You want to win at card games without actually using the skill that's required to win at those card games. You want to go above and beyond and develop that even more difficult skill set that it takes to control cards to your will. I respect that. What up, crew? Hope you're doing well, and welcome to CardMechanic School, where I teach you how to cheat at cards, which you really shouldn't be doing. Maybe you should click off this video. Today we'll be talking about false block cuts and strip cuts to make your shuffles seem unquestionably believable. Some quick background that I want to provide. I came up with these shuffles kind of observing Richard Turner do his performances and also reading from Expert at the Card Table. So I kind of merged these ideas together and came up with my own type of handling. So I hope this is something that you can use and enjoy. And before we get started, if you really want to learn these shuffles, I recommend picking up a deck of playing cards and following along, because I guarantee you this will make your journey so much easier. But I'm not saying it's going to be easy. You cannot expect to perfect these shuffles within a couple of hours or even a couple of days. It took me weeks, if not months, to get these down to the level that they're at. So there will be work involved. Be ready for it. So if you're up for the challenge, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And now, let's do it. Alright, so before we get started, a couple things to note. One thing being about the deck that you're using. I'd recommend using a borderless deck of playing cards, something like the Casino Style Bs. Borderless meaning that they have no border, as compared to a deck of playing cards that has a border like this one. And I guess I can quickly show you some side-by-side comparison in terms of moves that are being done as card mechanics to cheat at cards. Generally, a borderless deck kind of hides like 90-95% of those moves, whereas a border deck would give you a couple of issues. So if you don't have one, that's completely fine. These are actually very cheap. I think like 3 to 4 USD, which is unreal. So yeah, if you have a borderless deck, you can feel free to use that. If not, go ahead and grab your normal border deck. That's fine too. Now that you have your deck of playing cards, let me walk through the formatting of this video. So first we'll be going through the false block cuts that we'll be using as a shuffle. Then we'll be going through the false strip cuts, again being used as a shuffle. And then we're going to do a combination of the two to really throw off pretty much everyone. So first things first, as a card mechanic, you're going to be having the deck on the table horizontal, right? You're not going to have it like this. You're going to have it on the table horizontal. And a lot of the squaring up and I guess motion you're doing with splitting will be happening with your pinky, these 3 fingers up top, and thumb on the bottom, right? So this here and this like this. This is how most of the squaring up or cuts are going to be taking place. Now, mainly the fingers that you'll be using to separate these 2 packets, or this one packet into several packets, will be your thumb, middle finger, and ring finger. So one of the things that you may want to practice in the beginning, if you're not too comfortable with this, is just splitting the deck in half. So grab the top portion of the deck with this hand, so about top half with this hand, grab the bottom half with this hand like this, and just practice splitting up the deck like that. And if you're not comfortable with this, this is a great place to start practicing. Now that you're familiar with the basic move, this is what we're going to be doing for this shuffle. As you can see, we have the deck in new order. The basic shuffle we're trying to imitate is kind of going up, and I believe it's also known as kind of like the ladder, whereas we're taking a packet of cards and we're shuffling it all the way up, and we're grabbing cards as we're shuffling all the way down, and then ultimately ending. So this in fact actually does shuffle up the deck, and now that I realize that, I will have to rearrange the order here. So that's pretty much what we're trying to mimic, and that's something you should also keep in mind. Whenever you're creating moves to kind of cheat at playing cards, they should resemble as closely as possible to other normal moves, right? So if you're dealing off a deck of cards from the top like this, the second deal you're doing should also be like this, right? So everything you're doing should have some method of mimicking what is natural. Keeping that in mind, this is the false block cuts that I came up with. Of course, you want to get into that grip, split the packet approximately in half. Again, we're using these fingers here and these fingers here. Split that in half like this. As you come out, you actually want to come forward, not completely straight out like this. You want to come out and forward, bring this back. And as you bring this back, you want to grab a thumb break above this packet here. So we're grabbing a thumb break like this. Then we're shifting these cards a bit to the right. And as we shift to the right, we're breaking this packet in half as well. So we're breaking this top packet in half, again using those same fingers, breaking it in half, and now you can let this packet fall, but again realize that it's misaligned now and it's not completely straight with this packet. So we have, there we go, 1 second, we have this packet here almost like this. There we go, we have this packet here all like this, and that's pretty much how it's going to be staying. One more time, let me actually just make sure that we have a better understanding. we're here, break off half, shuffle this over, kind of keep this at an angle, but again, keep that thumb break as well. So to get a thumb break, now break this in half. You can let this packet fall since now it's misaligned. Bring this to the top, grab a thumb break again underneath this packet, and now you're gonna grab the original center packet that we had here. Bring this, the original center packet, to the top. Again, this was the one that was misaligned here. And then you can grab this bottom packet and bring this to the top as well. And this will maintain the deck in new deck order. One more time, going up to speed, this is what it's gonna look like. And if it's a bit messy, that's completely fine. I think it makes shuffles seem a bit more natural if it is a little messier, so that's, again, completely fine. As long as the cards end up in the exact same order that you had them in, you are golden. So that is the false block cuts. Moving on over to the next part, we're looking at false strip cuts. Now, strip cuts, this is how the original motion should look. You have a deck of playing cards. Of course, I'm gonna have to fix the order again. But you have a deck of playing cards. You're peeling off the top of the deck, and you keep on peeling this off, and you're pretty much stripping parts of this packet and throwing it on top of the deck until you have a small packet left, and throw that on top. And if we take a look, that actually somewhat shuffles up the deck, and now I shall fix the deck again. All right, I think we're all set. Again, keep in mind what the original motion was, and this is how we're gonna be making it false. We pick up the deck of playing cards, again, same grip with these fingers here. Use your pinkies over on the side if you wanna keep things as straight as possible. Take off approximately half the deck from the top here. Take off half the deck, throw that on the ground. So this establishes the fact that you're taking and peeling off from the top of the deck. Again, one more time, we're here, drop that on the ground, or drop that on the table, whatever it is. And now, you're going to almost show the spectator that you're doing the strip cut, except instead of pulling from the top, you're going to be stripping cards off from the bottom. And what happens when you strip cards from the bottom, we move this to the side, when you strip cards from the bottom and keep on throwing them on top of each other, the order is going to stay exactly the same. And it's going to give the false perspective that the deck is actually being mixed up, when in fact everything is in order. So I feel like that is actually pretty cool. So again, one more time, you're throwing off the top packet. The top packet here, you're throwing off. So this was a real strip cut. And now you're going to be pulling off from the bottom. And when you pull off from the bottom, you're not going to deal directly on here. So similarly to how we were doing the block cuts, you're going to go a bit off center. So when I do my strip cuts, I make it seem a bit messy. So I peel off from the bottom here, again, using my middle finger, ring finger, and thumb to peel off. I peel off a bit to the side, as you can see. And then now that this is a bit to the side, I can literally do whatever I want and make these, you know, as messy as possible. So now it looks like I have a giant mess right here. But if I start to square up, you can see here is, oh, no, sorry. You can see here is where the cards were off center. This is the original point of off center. So when you come and square things up, you can start feeling with your thumb that, oh, this is the location right here where the cards were initially split. So this whole packet above this break is going to be the bottom half, and this was the original top half. So what you can do at the end here is you can give the deck a cut at that location, like so, and you have all the cards remaining in new deck order. Let's go through that one more time at top speed. Do I have all the cards right? Yeah, I do. Up to speed, like I mentioned. One final cut, and the cards are still in order. So that is the false strip cut. After coming up with my variation on those methods, I wanted to see how we can put them together. So this is what I came up with. We're going to start off by doing the false strip cuts that we talked about just right before this. False strip cuts. Again, the pile looks very messy. You're going to come and get the break that you originally had for the original bottom packet here. And now you're going to take this whole bottom packet that's below this break, shuffle this up, and it's going to now follow the exact same, almost the exact same procedure as when we're doing the false block cuts. Is we're going to break this in half as well, bring this up top, take the original center packet, bring that on top as well. And now in the block cut version, we brought this back on top, but here we can kind of end it and the cards will remain in order. So let's go through that one more time in full speed. Up to speed, we're going to do the false strip cuts, square everything up, do the block cuts. I end with a riffle, and the cards are still in new deck order. Now, if you really want to improve your skills as a card mechanic and have some one-on-one video calls with me, in addition to getting lesson videos about dealing, cutting, shuffling, and stacking, I highly encourage you to join the Underground Club at the Commissioner level. The benefits that you'll get out of this is being able to talk to me about any moves that you're looking to learn, bounce ideas off of each other, and get any additional insights about certain moves that you're currently having trouble learning. It'll help me out as a creator, and it'll help you get the coaching you need to become the best magical version of yourself. The link to the Underground Club / Patreon will be right below me, but you can also access it by clicking the first link in the video description. And by the way, currently I only have 9 slots available, but depending on how many of you are interested in signing up, I may make more slots available in the future. Thanks so much for watching. It was a pleasure having you here. Have a great day ahead, and I hope to see you in the Underground Club.